How long is this road anyway? I can't even see Bethlehem, and it's cold. Isn't this the Middle East? I thought it was always high here. I'm gonna die of frostbite, you know. You do know there are climate-controlled tour buses going right past us every 10 minutes.
Okay, quit complaining. It's like 5 miles. You're not gonna die. But if you're gonna whine about it, we can go rest on those rocks.
Listen, friend, you told me to pack my bags because you had a surprise Christmas trip plan that was gonna knock my socks off, hence the flip-flops. I'm thinking Hawaii, the Caribbean, maybe even Disney World. But spending Christmas Day walking on the road between Jerusalem and Bethlehem was definitely not on my list of expectations.
Surprise? Here. Have a drink from my genuine imitation leather canteen.
Oh, no thanks. I have Coke in my backpack.
Coke? I told you I would take care of bringing all the food and drinks, remember? I want this to be a recreation of what it was in the Bible times.
Yeah, but I know you a little too well to trust you with that. And now that I see where we are, I'm awfully glad I packed my own stash. You probably brought like hard bread and like dried fig or something. What did you bring?
Well, it is what they would have eaten.
And that's why I have Coke and Pringles in my backpack. You'll thank me later.
Come on, I just really want to get the full experience. This road is where Christmas begins. I've always thought of it sort of, I don't know, a metaphor for coming to Jesus. I just want to get inside their heads and feel like what it would have been like for them.
Well, I'm feeling it alright. I bet they would have taken a tour bus.
Oh, quit complaining. It's like 15 minutes. At least try a fig. They can't be that bad.
Not happening. Why do they even still sell figs? They make new ones now, you know. Ooh, actually, I think I have some of those. Hey, look, I do. I'm totally feeling it now. Want some?
No thanks. I'll stick with the authentic experience.
Suit yourself. Oh, needs ice cream though. Maybe some whipped cream and ooh, a cherry, a new one sundae. I'll have to try that.
You're impossible.
I keep your life interesting, you know. That's why we're friends.
Well, you drive me crazy anyway. Does that count as interesting?
Totally.
I mean, it's still dried figs and bread, right?
So, tell me how Christmas started on this dusty, barren, freezing cold road.
Are we there yet? I can't believe how slow this trip is. How much longer do you think it will till we be there?
Oh, honestly, Naomi, you're as bad as a child.
Well, Ruthie, I feel like one today, whining and complaining about every step of the way, because my whole body hurts. This isn't the first time I've walked on this road. I was a lot younger then. I walked faster, and everything didn't hurt. In the dust, it's the same old ugly road. You know, the dust is unbearable, and the trees are ridiculous, and walking takes forever and a day. I've said this before.
A few times. Why don't we stop and rest for a while? Half an hour won't put us too far behind. And a little food might help. Hey, let's rest on those rocks right there. This is the last of my bread, I'm afraid. But we should be in Bethlehem soon.
Doesn't matter, we don't have any money for food anyway. I might as well just lie down and die right here. We're gonna starve in Bethlehem, you know.
Not that you're bitter or anything.
Bitter? The last time I walked on this road, I had a husband and 2 sons. God has taken away from me everything. Everything.
I'm here, Naomi. I've lost family too.
You're right, of course. But I'm cranky today.
Today?
All right, maybe I have cranky days more often than not. You somehow always pull me through out of it, though. Did I ever tell you about the trip to Moab with the boys? I mean, other than the dust and the trees and walking forever.
Actually, no. You've always been short-closed about that.
That's because I had such a bad attitude on that journey. I wasn't too proud of myself. Not much has changed, I see. Elimelech made a decision without me one night. We all sat down to eat, and he looked at his almost empty plate and announced that we're moving somewhere that still had food, just like that. No discussion, no hesitation, no consideration of what I wanted. Just pack up the boys and be ready the day after tomorrow. And then he went right to bed, like everything was fine. Not if my whole world hadn't been taken from me. I don't think he ever knew how hard I cried that night. I was so angry with him, I couldn't understand how we could get at the land God has given us and abandon every promise we had with Jews. And for what? A little more food? In pagan Moab? No offense.
I understand.
You know, I always thought my faith was strong until that moment. That decision shook me to my core. I spent the next day packing up our meager belongings and questioning what I ever believed in. The boys were excited, though. They thought it was some grand adventure. They played games on these very roads, and then they would run up ahead as fast as they could and see how many rounds of knuckle bones they could play before we caught up to them. And Chilean would run around in circles around me. Literally, as I walked, he would run around me until I either tripped over him and got fed up and made him carry my bag. And Malon, my talker, he would walk beside me and chat nonstop. One time, he talked about not talking to stopping point. Then he talked about not talking until we reached the stopping point.
He did love to talk.
And oh, how he loved his jokes. He had one favorite though. He would grab my arm and say, "Mama, how does a boy upset his mama on the Sabbath?" Then he would giggle so hard, I never understood the answer.
He still liked that joke even after we got married. He used to say our kids would. Tell me more about your trip, Naomi.
By the time we finally arrived in Moab, I was sick of my own attitude. I determined to make the best of the situation. So we worked hard the first year. I was slowly beginning to believe that my life would be good again. Then, one night, Elimelech came home feeling ill. I didn't worry too much. I thought he was too stubborn to let anything beat him. But I was wrong. He was gone the next day. And I had to look into my eyes and my voice and tell them that Father would never. So there I was, a widow with 2 boys and a foreign man. No real family, no real friends, no way to support us.
It must have been frightening.
It was, Ruthie. It truly was. Elimelech drove me absolutely crazy sometimes, but I always knew he would take care of us. And then he was gone. And with him went every ounce of security I had. And everything was suddenly upon me.
What did you do?
I did sewing and did laundry. I did odd jobs for people. The boys were old enough to work too, so we scraped by that first year. They worked so hard, Ruthie. They became little men long before they should have to. I know they felt the weight for caring for me, making sure I had enough. And Chilean met Orap, and Malin met you. And life wasn't about me at all. And Malin, my talker. Oh, Mama, Ruthie is so sweet. I can't wait for you to meet her. I just know you love me. She's so beautiful. So beautiful, Mama. We talked about you incessantly.
That must have been annoying.
A little. Or my boys are supposed to go back married from our own people. That's what our law says. They're supposed to go back to Bethlehem and find wives down there.
Why didn't you?
Not exactly sure. Fear, I guess. In Moab, I was set. I had a house to live in, and the boys were supporting me right then. I didn't know what awaited for me back at home. And you and Orb were so sweet, I couldn't help but love you both. So I gave my blessing when I wasn't supposed to.
Well, I'm glad you did.
You know the rest of the story. The beautiful double wedding, all of us finally living happy until
the accident. I'll never forget the accident that made me a widow.
and left me childless. Ruthie, I really am bitter. Life has been so hard, so unfair. I've been angry at God for a very long time. I spent so much time teaching about him and resenting him at the same time. You must think that makes me such an awful person.
I think it makes you a very, very human. And that God you described to me sounds like he can handle it, don't you think?
You're sweet, Ruthie. You're sweet. And I'm bitter. If you draw the salty person on the way to Bethlehem, we'll be complete.
Now, Naomi.
I think I can go on now. You know, the dust's unbearable and the trees.
Naomi.
All right. Do tell me one thing, though.
Okay.
How does a boy upset his mama on the Sabbath?
That's a piece of cake.
Okay, A, you're a great storyteller. And 2, that is the most depressing Christmas story I've ever heard. Why do they even call it a Christmas story?
Don't you remember what happened next?
Yeah, they got to Bethlehem, Ruth married Boaz, and they had a kid.
Yes, and the child was?
I don't remember. Abed, Ebed, Ibed, something about a bed. They were probably tired from this never-ending hike.
It was Obed, the grandfather of King David. Don't you get it? Ruth was born from the line of David. Ruth is Jesus' lots of greats grandma.
Oh, I guess I would have never put that together. Actually, that's pretty cool.
See, you laugh because I'm obsessive about everything, but you can learn a thing or two from someone like me. Oh good, you're ready to walk again.
Oh no, I just need my Pringles. I'm ready for the real Christmas story now, not the depressing one.
Joseph, I don't think I can go any further. I'm sorry, I'm just so tired and everything hurts.
It's okay, Mary. Let's go up there and rest on those rocks. Oh, how I wish I could have afforded a donkey for you. I just didn't see how we could.
Shh, we've been over that. It couldn't be helped. I'll be fine. I just need to rest for a bit. I will eat, but only if you eat too. You're impossible. You need strength too.
I'm so sorry. We have to make this trip now, Mary. The timing of this just seems so wrong, and I find myself worrying. Isn't that silly? God literally sent an angel to tell me what was going to happen, and I still worry.
I understand. I think about everything. My mind never stops. I'm always planning, wandering, dreaming, pondering.
What do you think about?
Normal things like what it will be like to be a mom, and the not so normal things like how it will feel to look at him and know he is the promised one. Will he be like other babies? Will he cry when he needs me? I guess he would have to, but it's just so strange to think about, you know. What will he look like? Will he look like you at all?
I've wondered that too. There is much I don't know, but one thing I'm for sure of. He will be the most loved baby ever.
Joseph, I know this must be so hard on you, all of it, but I think the gossip is the worst. I understand why they talk about me, but it hurts me so much to hear them talk about you like they do. I hate the gossip, Joseph. I hate it.
It's a little thing to bear for the Messiah, Mary.
You're right, of course, but you don't deserve it. You are the most selfless man I've ever known. Joseph, my Joseph, you will truly love this baby as your own, won't you, with your whole heart?
Without hesitation. There is one thing I have to admit, though.
What's that?
I'm terrified.
Really? I thought it was just me.
Oh, Mary, why would God choose me? Me! I have no idea how to raise the Messiah. I'm just a poor working man who has never changed a diaper or bandaged a skinned knee. I don't know the first thing when it comes to parenting. And this baby deserves the very best, but instead, he gets me.
I think you're incredible, but I understand. I feel so unqualified to be anyone's mom, let alone his. Oh, he kicked me. He's getting anxious to join us, I think.
You know, all my life, I've heard people talk about how the Messiah will come. Some say he will come on roaring like a warrior and sweep Rome into non-existence. Others say he will subdue all our enemies and enter powerfully. But it turns out he's slipping in the most softly way possible. A whisper of peace and hope to a world that doesn't even know he's here.
A whisper of peace and hope. I like that.
But I'm still terrified.
You know, Joseph, all my life I've been taught about God's promise of deliverance, how God was going to step into our world and somehow save us. I've dreamed about it, wished for it, crazy scenarios in my head about what it will be like, but now it's here and I don't know how to handle it. I'm afraid, I'm unsure, confused.
I am too, Mary.
Joseph, I'm starting to have pains.
Oh no, are you okay? You can't have the baby here!
I'm okay, but I do believe we better be on our way.
Okay, it won't be much longer now, my love. I'll help you.
You know, Joseph, I'm pondering now.
Okay, come on.
I can carry something.
Okay, you carry the baby.
You're impossible. He'll be born soon, Joseph, and I can feel it, and oh, how I hope he looks like you.
Well, did he?
Did he what?
Look like Joseph.
I don't know.
And you call yourself a Bible scholar?
I don't call myself.
So, what else happened on this Christmas road?
Well, it's possible wise men used it. I mean, they did come from the east, but if they were north at all, they would have walked it.
Cool. They should have caravaned with Mary and Joseph. Mary sure could have used a camel ride.
First of all, we don't even know if they had camels.
You're kidding.
But the biggest thing is that the wise men came later, and Mary and Joseph came like maybe 2 years later.
I'm writing a letter to protest my nativity scene manufacture.
Okay, you do that.
Okay, so 2 years later, the three wise men...
We don't know if there were three. We only know that there were 3 gifts.
Okay, so 2 years later, the numberless amount of kings...
Not kings, astronomers.
My whole childhood was a lie?
I'm so glad you're not dramatic about anything ever.
Okay, so tell me how Christmas started on this freezing cold road.
Looks like we're very close now. We should be in the city by this evening.
That is the best news I've heard this year.
Stay back with the camels, but
Said we don't know if they had camels. In my story, they do.
And why are they wearing those clothes? Aren't they supposed to be in ruled robes with jeweled scepters?
You make a dangerous cross-country journey on foot through dangerous territories filled with roadside robbers wearing royal robes and holding jeweled scepters.
Good point. You may proceed.
Uncle, I know you said stay back with the camels, but Molly has one of her eggs again. Told to come walk with you. Can I walk with you for just a little, please?
Shahab, Arif, you may walk with us. You know, Sam, I always love having you around. But please, just this once, don't talk too much. Shahab and Arif, they like to walk in silence.
You got it. You're the best. Right, no talking, just walk. We'll be the first Magi's forever. Remember for our great journey to honor our new king. Down through the centuries, our name will be famous, Uncle Hakeem. The wife I have, the great Arif and Sam.
Whoa, 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 whoa. You gotta be kidding me.
Listen, the Bible doesn't give us their names, so I looked up some Easter names by their meaning. Hakeem means wise, Arif means knowledge, and Shahab means star. Get it? Get it?
But Sam?
Well, I lost my Wi-Fi connection. I had to make up the last one. Just work with me here.
Oh, this is gonna be good. I'm so glad I brought popcorn for this one.
Sam, we haven't traveled for 2 years in order to gain fame and fortune. We are here to honor the new Messiah.
Oh, I know, but we could be famous, Uncle Hakeem, and honor him. Could we? Could we?
I am extremely tired, all of a sudden. I tell you what, let's go sit on these rocks up here, and when the caravan comes, we will, when they catch up, we will rejoin them, all right?
Ooh, such a cool map. Where are we in this?
We'll be there soon, Sam. Soon. Probably even today.
I knew it. I just knew it. Mama says that. Ooh, do you think it's just up the hill over there? Who do we even know where we're going? How do we know we're supposed to go to Bethlehem?
We have studied the Hebrew scrolls for many years, Sam. The scrolls say the Messiah will be born in Bethlehem.
What's a Messiah? I thought we were to meet the new king. And what will we do when we get to the city? How will we know where to find him? Is there a sign that says, Messiah, turn left at Koji Shack, or do we have to?
I tell you what, Sam, why don't you do some scouting for us?
Ooh, I can do that. What do I do?
Well, just run up the road there a little bit and see what's on the other side of the hill. Just stay where I can see you.
I'll be right back.
You know, I love that girl. But I just don't know how my sister does this day in and day out.
I think I understand the headaches now.
She does, however, bring up a good point, though. We saw the star and we did the calculations. We studied the scrolls, but how will we know exactly where to go?
Hey, we are wise men. We'll stop at the Quickie Mart and ask for directions. What?
Maybe the star will make a miraculous return.
I see it. I see the city, Uncle Hakeem. The city. It's so beautiful, I can never tell you.
That's wonderful, wonderful, Sam. When the caravan catches up, we'll give them the good news. And we can get started getting our gifts together as well.
Gift? Do you have a gift?
Of course we have gifts. We can't very well approach the promised Messiah with nothing to offer now, can we?
I am thankful for such a safe journey. I can't believe how close we are now to being able to kneel before the king with the finest we could afford.
Bringing our gifts into the city of Bethlehem. I wondered if I would ever actually see this day.
Hakeem, Shahab, I will rejoin the caravan now. I'm sure you could use a little uncle-niece time anyway.
You're so benevolent. Sam, you are suddenly very quiet. Is there something wrong?
I see the city, Uncle Hakeem. The city with the new king. But I didn't bring a gift. I have nothing to bring to Bethlehem.
Oh, I totally see where this is going. Sam is the little drummer boy.
What?
You know, I have no gifts to bring, bum, 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 bum. You forgot to give him a drum in your story, though.
That's right. I just corrected every biblical interpretation, and you had the little drummer boy stuck with the wise men for good measure.
So, not the little drummer boy?
No, there was no little drummer boy. Don't you get it? I am Sam.
I feel a little Dr. Seuss moment coming on here.
Quit it.
Would you tell stories in the cold of frankincense, myrrh, and gold? Would you tell stories in a box? Man, I really wish I was wearing socks.
Can't you be serious for 1 minute? Seriously, I'm at my limit.
Oh, good one. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to lighten the mood a little bit.
I know, I'm sorry.
You really did put a lot of thought into all this, didn't you?
Probably too much.
What did you mean about being Sam?
Exactly that. These stories, I'm all of them. Naomi's bitterness and lack of faith, Mary and Joseph's fear to uncertainty, and Sam, that's me. I'm just a person who talks too much and has nothing to offer the king. I struggle, you know. I know all the Bible facts and all the stories, but somehow my heart doesn't. I don't have it all together. I don't even know where the pieces are. This life is so scary, painful, and messy. I look at the world around me and I'm sad. I think about my past and I'm bitter. And then Christmas rolls around and we're supposed to pretend like everything's merry and bright when it's not. So, I booked this trip because I thought maybe if I were here where it all began, where they lived and walked and carried their burdens, here where salvation was born. Maybe, I don't even know, maybe this was all just a dumb idea. I'm sorry I cheated you out of your Hawaii trip.
Well, it wasn't a dumb idea. Look, I know I've been difficult today. I've been so busy complaining and teasing, I haven't really looked around me. And now that I see where we are, Actually, you're onto something here. I think Christmas has a lot more in common with this messy, barren, freezing cold road than pretending everything is just merry and bright. I see this countryside and it reminds me that God didn't make us clean our act up before we come to him. Naomi didn't have to give up her bitterness to go to Bethlehem. Mary and Joseph didn't have to act all perfect and fearless. And if wise man Sam was real, he didn't have to bring anything but himself. You and I both know that I'm no theologian, but if coming to Jesus is like coming to Bethlehem, then it seems to me that God just wants us to come as we are. No cleanup or gifts necessary. In fact, I'm pretty sure that's the whole point of Christmas. He came because we couldn't clean ourselves up and because we had nothing to give.
I don't have to have it all together. Just come to Bethlehem and watch God work. Wisdom from an unlikely source. Maybe you're the fifth wise man.
Yeah, that's me, Pringle the Great and Wise Not King. You want to know something else? I happen to know that the name Sam means God hears. I think that name was just right. Well, I think I'm finally ready to go.
Okay, we can flag down a tour bus and ride the rest of the way. It is particularly cold today. I should have booked a bus in the first place.
No, I think you're right.
Really?
Yeah, this is an opportunity that I don't think I should miss. Pringle the Great has some thinking to do. But I'm still not eating figs.
Would you eat them on the road?
Just out of mood.
I'm hungry. You got anything else in your backpack?
I brought some hard bread. You want some?
Pringle the Great, nothing. Pringle Stingy's more like it.
Okay, you want some Pringles?
Yes, thank you.
You told you would thank me later.